learning about the goddess work was really important for me to feel the archetypes and really understand that although I'm one woman, like I am so multifaceted, and be able to like meet each of those different parts of myself was so valuable, because for a long time I had this, I am this archetype and that is who I am. And then to meet these little parts of myself that I was like, oh yeah, also I'm like this. And also I really love doing that. And also I love this and it brings me pleasure. And I would meet like these new joys and these new pleasures in myself through each of these archetypes that we visited. Working with the cycle to like understanding my womb space. I'd been working in an area for a long time that had a lot of sexuality involved in it. And for years, I mean, I was teaching heels dance, and I was very particularly trying to make sure that everyone knew it wasn't striptease and it wasn't burlesque and it wasn't all these things. It was sensuality, not sexuality. And I was watering it down all the time, when I knew at the root of what I did that what I'm doing is so important. And, and I knew that once people were in the room with me, they understood that, but I found myself just constantly dimming that down on the outside. And so it was interesting for me to also step into this place where I had felt very sexually sovereign for many, many years, doing my thing, but then unraveling this layer of what I was still holding back. And the honoring of it too, for me, I mean, it changed my business completely to really validate sex work, to really validate where the roots and the origins of what I do come from, to really validate the culture around sexuality. And then to like shift, I mean, I shift my whole mission statement, probably right in the middle of being a Temple Body Arts, to be one where I wanted to create a community that allowed safe expressions of otherwise oppressed forms of sexuality. And when I claim that, take out the sword, because that took a lot of letting go. Because for many years I'd been told, oh, your business will never be successful if it's too this or it's too that. You're too much, you're too this, and we get that so much as women in general. But then when you become a business owner, you feel like you don't know what you're doing. So you're trying to listen to everybody's advice. And at the end of the day, like, meeting myself in that Temple Body Priestess archetype and realizing that actually I had been holding my sexual sovereignty so proud and so aligned inside of me, and then turning around and really sharing that and coming into this power of leadership and saying to like my team and my teachers, this is what we do, and like this is what we're here for, and this work is really important. I mean, it shifted everything. And our clientele has changed, my team has changed, but it has become bigger and better than I could have ever imagined. And a lot of that was just, becoming present with myself and really diving into, I don't even really call it shadow work because it's so full of light, but it was this piece of like diving into the stuff that I had been for many years, knowing I needed to confront, knowing I wanted to talk about, and not knowing where, not knowing how. And then all of a sudden having sisters that were like, hey, you want to talk about that? Let's talk about that. Having sisters like validate me and honor what I was feeling. And so that gave me the space to fall apart and to crumble and to be vulnerable and to still be held in reverence. Because that's like one thing I love about Temple Body is there's just so much collaboration. There's so much witnessing and honoring of one another exactly where we are when we are there. And you don't have to wait till you're all better to show up in that space. And so being in a space like that, for me, it just made me show up more vulnerably. Everyone